Hey, how you guys doing? And we're back at it. So today we're gonna do something a little bit different. We're gonna play a game. I know, I can see some of your faces right now. A game? He's talking about playing a game. We got all these problems and he's talking about playing a damn game? What in the hell's wrong with this dude, man? We ain't got time for no games, man. This is serious stuff. Trust me. It's gonna work. You're gonna learn something. Trust me on that. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get this on the road, shall we? Okay, in these photos I'm about to show you, there's an animal in each photo. Starting with this one right here. You have 5 seconds to find the animal. Ready, set, go. Okay, this time I'm going to show you the same photos in the same order. But the very next photo I'm going to show you exactly where the animals are, okay? Ready, set, go. How do you guys do? Were you able to find the animals without me actually pointing them out to you? If not, don't worry about it, it's no big deal. But there's a professional term for this, but it seemed to have escaped my mind. If somebody knows what it is, please let me know in the description box. However, your mind can now interpret what the eyes were seeing. You see, the eyes are like the camera. like a camera, I'm sorry, where something you take a photo and you didn't realize you actually took a photo of something else also. When you go back and look at the actual photo you have taken, you say, oh, I didn't even realize this was in the photo. Well, the camera is patterned after the human eyes. You see, so your eyes already saw it there already, but your mind could not make sense of the information when it was seen. So now you actually trained your mind and your eyes to be on the same page. And that's very important for the next topic I'm going to cover. See, now it's about training your ears in particular and your eyes now. And why would that be important? Because sometimes we might hear something and see something and your mind didn't pick up on it. It goes right by you. And until sometimes somebody break it down for you, say, oh, I didn't even see that, or I didn't even hear that. Because sometimes, and I keep stressing this, we fall in love with personalities and ideologies, and we don't take our emotions out of the equations. You hear me say that many times in my videos. You have to take your emotions out of the equation. That way you can draw a better conclusion. Whenever you have your emotions wrapped up in anything, you cannot see and think straight. Somebody can tell you X, Y, Z, and you wouldn't hear a damn thing they said because you're emotionally involved. You can see something right in front of you and still not see it. Like, for instance, somebody can be in an abusive relationship. Everyone who's on the outside can see it, but the person sometimes who is involved in that relationship cannot see it. So sometimes take someone from the outside and say, hey man, you know that relationship you have? That's not a good relationship. That's a toxic relationship. You need to get out of that relationship. And sometimes they do and sometimes they don't because they still can't see it. So it takes them a little while to actually, for their mind and their eyes and their ears and sometimes their body from the abuse to be on the same page. Like, okay, you know what? This person has a problem. This is not healthy. I've got to go. And this is very important for the next topic I'm going to cover because sometimes we get hooked up and we get lost in our emotions. And I left the photos up of the animals there without me showing you where they were at to prove to you that you have just trained your mind and your eyes to be on the same page. Without me even showing you where they were at, I guarantee you guys are able to spot each one. Like, yep, there it is, and there it is. Let's get into the last half of this video. Remember, I'm not your enemy. I'm just trying to show you something, okay? So just take the information and remember, take your emotions out of the equation and look at what I'm trying to show you. Okay, let's get started. Okay, dangerous cult leaders. Now, you might be saying, wait a minute, what are you talking about, cult leaders? Thought you were trying to show us something. Trust me, it will all make sense by the end. I'm just going to read a little bit of the article, but I'm going to get to the bottom part of the article. That's what I really want to show you when they actually give you the, well, you're going to see when we get there. Now I'm using this article to identify some of the people I see in the BCC that have a lot of these traits. And the traits I'm referring to, you'll see later on in the video. Now you can use these particular traits to identify anyone in your life, your religious leader, or your spouse, your friend, and even some of your family members. Not saying they are cult leaders. I want to make that perfectly clear. I'm just saying they have some of the traits to be cult leaders. Keep that in mind. So don't say I said they are not. I'm just showing you they have some of the traits. So just be careful. And remember, take your emotion out of the equation. I cannot stress that enough because if you still have your emotions in it, your mind, your ears, and your eyes will be out of sync. Okay? Alright, let's continue. Dangerous cult leaders. Dangerous traits of cult leaders. I'm going to start with the second paragraph. I am sure others have addressed this issue before, and I realize that it comes with its own minefield, as many religions started out as cults. I am simply not going to enter that fray. But the question is valid from the point of view that there are people out there who are cult leaders and who do great harm to others emotionally, psychologically, spiritually, physically, or financially. And also, before I go any further, if I sound a bit off, out of character, a little bit out of it. I'm a little exhausted because I work the night shift right now for a little extra money. So I'm working a 6:30 at night to 5 a.m. shift. So I'm exhausted. It's right now it's 11:37, but I'm gonna get through this video though. Then I'll go in and get some rest. But let's go on with the video. I just want to give you all that brief description in case I sound off key or something. From my studies of cults and cult leaders during my time in the FBI, I've learned early on that there are some things to look for that, at a minimum, say caution. This individual is dangerous and in all likelihood will cause harm to others. Okay, he said, having studied at length the life, teachings, and behavior of Jim Jones, Jamestown, Guyana, David Koresh, Branch Davidians, Stuart Trill, the Church of the Bible Understanding, Charles Manson. I'm going to skip over some of these guys and stop with the one guy at the Heaven's Gate cult. If anybody's seen the guy at the Heaven's Gate cult, the leader for the Heaven's, just put in the Heaven's Gate cult and look at the guy. I mean, that's at my first glance. I'm saying that's just me. It could be just me. That guy couldn't lead me nowhere. That guy looks stark, craven, mad to me. I wouldn't join anything he was partaking in. That's just me. Anyway, getting back to the article. And a lot of these guys are very cunning. And if you don't pay attention, they will have you caught up in whatever it is they're trying to sell you. And a lot of these traits I'm going to show you later on in the video, but coming up soon, they are characteristics and traits that a lot of your religious leaders, your cult leaders, your different type of fanatics, and also your motivational speakers. That's right, a lot of your motivational speakers and your people who are trying to sell you stuff online and so forth, or even when you come into those seminars, a lot of them have the same traits, some of the same traits. And if you're not careful, you will buy into everything they're trying to sell you if you don't process the information. If you get caught up in personality and emotions, you wouldn't see that they are very manipulative. Okay? And like I said, I'm not saying it's a bad thing per se. However, for you, the person being taken for a ride, it can be very detrimental physically, spiritually, and financially if you don't pay attention and see what's going on before it's too late. For instance, got this one guy on YouTube. Every time you're watching a video, he'll come on. Hi guys. Everybody asking for a tour of my backyard. I'll give them a tour of my backyard, and you see him again in the next video with a Lamborghini and a Ferrari, and then you see him again in the next video. I take private jets now, and you watch it and you say, oh man, he's doing great. But if you listen closely, take the emotions out of it. I cannot stress that enough. You say, wait man, this guy is trying to sell me something. And something, if you can't see it, you buy right into it. I'm not saying it's per se, again, hear me out. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying you have to watch it sometimes. If you cannot tell the difference between a salesperson or someone who's really genuinely trying to help you, you got caught up and you spend your money, and before long, you in the whole thousands and sometimes millions of dollars if you have that kind of money before you know what's going on. Like I said, con man, your motivational speakers, your cult leaders, and many other people in your life have these same traits. Some of the same traits, and some of them have a combination of these traits and some narcissistic traits as well. So you gotta, like I said, you just gotta pay attention. Always take emotions out of the equation to get a better view, a better understanding of what the individual is actually all about. Trust me, once you do that and look at it just for what it is, you can do it in your own time. You don't have to do it around a crowd of people. Just do it in your own time, in privacy, your own home. Or if you're somewhere you have to make a decision and you got to make a rush decision, don't make it. So, no, I can't do it. I have to think about it. Because that's always one telltale sign that is something you shouldn't be doing if you got to make a decision right then and now. All right. Enough about that. Let's move on to the traits now. Okay, let's get started. And when they say he, also know it can also mean she as well. Here are the typical traits of the pathological cult leader from dangerous personalities you should watch for and which shout caution, get away, run, or avoid if possible. Number 1, he has a grandiose idea of who he is and what he can achieve. Sounds familiar? Number 2, is preoccupied with fantasies of unlimited success, power, or brilliance. Again, sounds familiar. See, I can outline the ones that I found to me fit some of the people in the BCC, and also a lot of people in whatever other sectors you might find yourself, be religion or motivational speakers or whatever you might find yourself gravitating towards. But the ones I highlighted are some of the people I've noticed in the BCC. Just a little heads up. Number 3, demands blind, unquestioned obedience. Number 4, requires excessive admiration from followers and outsiders. Again, that's very, very telling of some of the people also. Number 5, has a sense of entitlement, expecting to be treated special at all times. Number 6, is exploitative of others by asking for their money, or that their relatives put others at financial risk. Now, number 7 screams out to me. That's why I put a little star next to it. Number 7 is arrogant and haughty in his behavior or attitude. Number 8 has an exaggerated sense of power, entitlement, that allows him to bend rules and break laws. You can't make this stuff up, man. Some of that stuff just scream out at you guys. If you take your emotions out of the equation, like I keep saying, and you just look at it for what it is, man, that a lot of this stuff just scream out you. Wait a minute, man. Some of these guys really do have these kind of personalities. Take sexual advantage of members in its sect or cult. Sex is required with adults and sub-adults. I wonder what it means, sub-adults. I guess it means teenagers. As part of a part of a ritual or rite. Now, number 11, I should have underlined that one also. That was an oversight on my part. Number 11 should be something that actually screams out at you guys as well. Is hypersensitive to how he is seen or perceived by others. Well, I'm not calling the names. I'm not going to call them names. I'm going to keep it positive. You should all know who number 11 fits. I can think about 5 guys right now who are very popular in the BCC who that actually fits very, very well. But again, I'm not going to call no names. Number 12, publicly devalues others as being inferior, incapable, or not worthy. Number 13, makes members confess their sins or faults publicly, subjecting them to ridicule or humiliation while revealing exploitable weaknesses of the penitent. Number 14, has ignored the needs of others, including biological, physical, emotional, and financial needs. Number 15 is frequently boastful of accomplishments. I should have underlined that one. Again, that's another oversight on my part. That one. Again, if you just focus, look at it, what it is frequently boastful of accomplishments. I mean, I see 3 people right now in my mind. I'm not going to call no names, man. And you guys should know they're always touting what they have done. I am this and I'm doing this. And some of the guys been in the game a long time, and some of the guys are new to the game. All I can say is use your imagination. You ain't hear nothing from me. As Bob Marley once said, who the cap fits, let them wear it. And many people have to wear that cap. Alright, moving on. And I just want to reiterate that, remember, these traits can be used to analyze anyone, not just people in the BCC. It could be people in your religion, in your church. I mean, or religion and church is the same thing, but you know where I'm going. It could be people in your everyday life. So don't just think I'm referring to people in the BCC. I'm just using this to actually solidify my point, because I see something and I see the warning signs and I can see the potential danger also. That's where foresight comes into play. All right. Number 16. All right, number 16. Needs to be the center of attention and does things to distract others to ensure that he or she is being noticed by arriving late, using exotic clothing, or dramatic speech, or by making theatrical entrances. Now, if that don't sound like many people in that community to you guys, then you haven't really looked at it really with a fresh pair of eyes. I'm keeping it positive. Number 17. Has insisted in always having the best of things: house, car, jewelry, clothes, even when others are relegated to lesser facilities, amenities, or clothing. To me, that sounds like some of the preachers to me. But I mean, hey, you didn't hear it from me. Number 18. Doesn't seem to listen well to needs of others. Communication is usually one way in the form of dictates. Number 19. Haughtiness, grandiosity, and the need to be controlling is part of his personality. Man, they just scream it out to me. Number 20. Behaves as though people are objects to be used, manipulated, or exploited for personal gain. Again, just screaming. That's why I put it in that box. So that's what I felt to me was something I saw very, very easily. Now, number 21, 22, and 23. If these don't sound like some or many of these people in that particular community to you guys, even the ones that have been in there for a while and the ones who just came on the scene, if that don't sound like these guys, then I don't know what's wrong. I'm not sure how you guys can't see it. Number 21. When criticized, he tends to lash out, not just with anger, but with rage. Okay, moving on to number 22. Anyone who criticizes or questions him is called an enemy. Now, your alarm bell should be ringing off. Ding, 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 warning, warning. I mean, this should just be ringing off right now in your head. If you're looking at it without your emotions, this should be ringing off right now. I'm going to read that one again. Anyone who criticizes or questions him is called an enemy. Number 23, this one's to be also ringing your head right now, refers to non-members or non-believers in him as the enemy. Number 24, acts impervious at times, not wishing to know what others think or desire. Number 25, believes himself to be omnipotent, it's as if he's a god. Now, if that don't, just by the name alone of some of these individuals, if that don't scream out to you guys again as another warning sign, that's why I underlined it, then you guys are too emotionally attached. Because many of these people call themselves gods of this and gods of that. You need to check that out, man. You really, really need to check that out. I'm just saying, it's just a warning sign. I'm just trying to convey the information. What you do with it is up to you. So if you, matter of fact, just disregard what I said. You don't have to check anybody out. You do what you want to do. I'm just giving you the information. Number 26, has magical answers or solutions to problems. I wish I was making this stuff up, man. But hey, it's right there, man, in black and white. Number 27 is superficially charming. Number 28, habitually puts down others as inferior and only he is superior. That one got 3 stars. Number 29 has a certain coldness and aloofness about him that makes others worry about who this person really is and whether they really know him. Number 30 is deeply offended when there are perceived signs of boredom, being ignored, or being slighted. 3 stars. 31. Treat others with contempt and arrogance. 3 stars as well. 32 is consistently assessing of those who are a threat or those who revere him. Number 33. That one I had to color purple. I had to give it 4 stars, and you'll know why. The word I dominates his conversation. He's oblivious to how often he references himself. I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna keep it positive. I'm gonna keep it moving. Number 34. Hates to be embarrassed or fail publicly. When he does, he acts out with rage. I should have put a star next to that one. Minor oversight as well. Number 35. Doesn't seem to feel guilty for anything he's done wrong. Nor does he apologize for his actions. Now that sounds like somebody, one of the new popular fellows that wouldn't apologize for anything. But anyway, I'm gonna keep moving. Number 36. Believes he possesses the answers and solutions to world problems. I wish I was making this stuff up, man. I really wish, man. But number 37. Believes himself to be a deity or chosen representative of a deity. Now that sounds like your religious leaders to me. One of your very popular religious leaders. I'm not going to call his name, but I always heard him say, God talked to me to tell you. Wait a minute, man. Actually, it sounded like many of your religious leaders, many of them. I always wonder, if God's supposed to be omnipotent, omnipotent, all that stuff, God's supposed to know us individually. And I always wondered, why is God going to talk to somebody to talk to me? Because God should know that I hate middlemen. You should talk straight to me. Don't talk to some joker I don't know, because suppose I never meet this joker. You give him to give me a message? Nah, man, I ain't buying that one, man. But, hey, a lot of them tell you that to feed on your emotions. Oh, man, they must be gifted. No, they ain't. They out there fishing. Because they're going to find a couple of people that believe in it. And the others of us who don't believe in it, nah, man, I'm going to leave, man. This don't make no damn sense. All right, moving on to the next one. Number 38. Rigid, unbending, or insensitive describes how this person thinks. Number 39. Tries to control others in what they do, read, view, or think. And that's a very popular one right there, because they will tell you, don't listen to them, family, because they're just jealous. Listen to me. I'm telling you, I'm trying to help you out. But you should always have that sense in your mind. So you know what? It's good to question something. How do we get to the point where we can't question anybody? Just a simple question can actually spark us a vicious backlash where people tell you to go kill yourself, hang yourself, shoot yourself. So wait a minute, you can't even ask a question without somebody telling you to commit suicide. I mean, this is crazy. A simple question. That's what I mean. You guys have a cult mentality. You have these cult leaders, which you don't think they're cult leaders, but they have cult personality traits. And a lot of you guys who follow after them are like the cultees, who are in the cult. And you can't see anything but the cult leader being right. And anybody that question his or her authority, or question, that's a simple question. I mean, to me, the way I was saying, when you operate, you would physically try to kill or harm that person. I'm not joking. I'm dead serious. I read some of the comments and some of the videos that's popular in the BCC. And some of the comments made me question you guys' intelligence. First of all, because some of the stuff you say, you wonder, well, don't you realize that the FBI and the police actually read these comments as well? I mean, I don't think you guys realize that it's a public forum. I'll let that sink in for a second. But, and it makes me question if you can see or actually reason. Like I said before, when hate comes into the picture, logic leaves the scene immediately. You can't have hate and logic in the same mind. It doesn't work. You see, you can't have fear and courage in the same body at the same time. It doesn't work. One is going to be the dominant. Either you can be fearful or you're going to have courage. So either you're going to have logic or you're going to be hateful. And if you're hateful, you're going to have to be illogical. They go hand in hand. That's how it works. Okay, there's no other way around that. All right, moving on. Number 40. Has isolated members of his set from contact with family or outside world. Now, there was one guy that I know for sure that he calls himself all kind of different names, and I'm not going to name him, but he was doing it to his people. And again, he definitely had a cultish vibe about it. Not had, because he still has that cultish vibe about him, but It's amazing how he gets people to follow after him. But then again, they have that charismatic personality. So I could see how it happens. You know, some of the young and impressionable mind people. But you guys know what I'm talking about, because I wonder the same fellow I'm referring to had one point this one brother was trying to get his daughter away from him, and so that lets you know also that the kind of person, the kind of people some of you guys are dealing with. Number 41, monitors and or restricts contact with family or outsiders. 42, works the least but demands the most. That sounds like a pimp. 43, has stated that he is destined for greatness and that he will be martyred. Now, the first half of that sounds like many of the people again in the BCC has stated that they are destined for greatness. I don't know too much about the martyred part, but I know that I've heard many of them say they're destined for greatness. Like them alone are destined for greatness. 44, seems to be highly dependable of, take that back. Seems to be highly dependent of tribute and adoration, and will often fish for compliments.
2 p.m.
And will often fish for compliments. 45, uses enforcers or sociopaths to ensure compliance from members or believers. Well, that's not so much in the BCC. I'll leave that to the cult department. You guys correct me if I'm wrong, though. 46, sees self as unstoppable, perhaps as even said so. Number 47, conceals background or family, which would actually would disclose how plain or ordinary he is. Which is true. It's amazing how they would want to drop other people's background, but when it comes to them, they don't tell you nothing about their background. That's kind of strange, isn't it? It should be a two-way street. If we reveal any information, let's reveal it, put it all on the table so we can all see it. Nevertheless, 48, doesn't think there's anything wrong with himself. In fact, sees himself as perfection or blessed. Now that sounds like a lot of people in the religious sector to me. So sorry, it goes kind of hand in hand. He kind of is kind of straddling the fence, man. After researching this little research here, man, I realized there's a very thin line between these people and normal people. A very, very thin line. Number 49, has taken away the freedom to leave, to travel, to pursue life and liberty of followers. And finally, number 50, has isolated the group physically, moved to a remote area so as to not be observed. Well, if any of those sound like anybody you follow and you adore, it could be in the BCC, it could be in the religious sector, it could be in your life. I'm not telling you they might be dangerous, but you might need to keep an eye on them. But then again, like I just stated before earlier, take away that last statement. I'm providing the information. I'm the intellectual farmer. Whatever you choose to do with the information is totally up to you. I just put the information out there. I will put the link to the article in the description box in case you think I made it up. And please do your own research on this particular topic about cult leaders and the different personality traits and so forth. So just in case you're involved in one of these particular type of relationships and you see the warning signs, you might know how to react. It's up to you. You might just say, to hell with me, F me, I'm full of it, and that's cool. Because in life, we are free to make whatever decision we want to make. But there's a flip side to that. You are not free to choose the consequences. Now, I didn't provide this information for you to go out there and do bodily harm to somebody. That's not what this game was about. It was about you learning. The same way you train your mind with those photos early on in the video is the same way you should train your mind now, so your mind, your ears, and your eyes and everything else will be on the same page at the same time. That's all it's about. Yes, I understand we sometimes get hurt that people deceive us and manipulate us, but I mean, let's be honest about it. People have been doing that from the beginning of human existence, and I don't foresee it stopping anytime soon. I would never say it would never stop. However, I don't foresee it stopping in my lifetime or your lifetime. And if you use the story in the Bible of King David, Bathsheba, and Uriah, how King David, the same David that slew Goliath, manipulated the scene so he can go ahead and steal Uriah's wife. I can imagine how it was done. He'd be like, what? He like, what? You see how they bed, you know? He like, wow, my son Bathsheba, they're looking good, man. She got a lot of assets. What? He also they lost in after Bathsheba. But maybe the sun was hitting on the right angle, you know? It must have been at sunset or sunrise, just glistening at the sun, and then the water kind of glistening off her body. Like, wow, my son, that's what Uriah they walking with? Nah, brethren. Look here, talking to your servants. Look here, hey, brethren. Look here now. When this war break out, send Uriah to the front. No question asked. Send him to the front of the battle, yeah? Yes, your highness. He don't plot in his mind, my son. When he dead, my son, I gotta take that for myself, my son. Look at how she walking. Look at her body undulating over there. No, man. Ain't no way, big man. Yes, Hey, Uriah, you gotta go, my son. This one here gonna be mine. See, he lost after the woman. He done manipulated the circumstances to his benefit. You see? So even, like I say, even from before over time, and that might offend some of you guys, but that's how the story went down. The long and short of it was, David stole the man's wife. Well, you might say, well, he was dead. Well, he plotted so he could actually die, so he can take his wife and then impregnate his wife to make him his own, make her his wife, and you know the rest of the story. But that's the long and short of the story. So that was cunning on David's part. He manipulated the situation. So, in essence, just learn, do better. But as always, you don't have to do anything with the information. Totally disregard me and just say, to hell with this guy, he's crazy. And there's no problem. It's cool, no hard feelings. Until next video, check out next time, okay?